Valuables unloaded before you reach our stroller parking area. If you are traveling with someone in a scooter or wheelchair, please have this person lead your party through the line. This will help keep your wait time to a minimum. Once again, please keep your group together, keep up with the party in front of you, and fill in all the available space. Thank you for touring Kilimanjaro. When it comes to safaris, we go wild.
Marabooty means welcome, folks, so welcome aboard. Please slide all the way to your right. Let's get nice and close to each other because these are going to be our seats for the next 20 minutes or so. Alrighty, please keep those hands, arms, legs, and feet inside the vehicle as those doors are now closing. Asante Sana warden. All right, folks, Asante Sana means thank you. Everyone say Asante Sana to our warden here. All right, and as we say here in Harambe, Twin Day, which means let's go. All right, folks, my Jumbo, which means hello. My name's Isabel. I'm going to be your safari guide today as we journey through Harambe Wildlife Reserve. I want to make sure everyone stays seated and keeps those hands, arms, legs, and feet inside the vehicle as we journey through the reserve today. If you look above your heads, you'll see an animal spotting guide. That's a great way to put some names to some faces, though I can't promise we will see all of them. Now, this first ecosystem of the reserve that we are entering is the Little Ituri Forest. And given that it's a forest, it's going to have a lot of trees. And with a lot of trees comes animals who have evolved to camouflage within those trees. So let's keep our eyes peeled and see what we can find. If you look off to our right, you will see an okapi. Now, okapis, though their back legs are striped a little bit like a zebra, they're actually a relative of the giraffe. Okapis have something called a prehensile tongue, which helps them to grab food off of bushes. Okapis also have ossicones. Those are those two protrusions that are off the top of giraffe's head. Only giraffes and okapi have those ossicones. You'll look up the hill and to our right, you will see a white and black bird called a yellow-billed stork, a saddle-billed stork. Now, saddle-billed storks are trademarked by a yellow square across the top of their bill. Male saddle-billed storks have brown eyes, while female saddle-billed storks have yellow eyes. To our left behind this bamboo, we'll see two different types of antelope. One of those types is the bongo. The bongo is the orange with the white stripes and the horns. Now, bongos have been nicknamed the ghost of the forest because of how well they blend in. Now, the beige with no horns and the white stripes is called a greater kudu. Only male greater kudu have horns, so that's how I know that those are female greater kudu. Greater kudu can get up to 55 inches tall. Now, as we exit the forest, we're entering into our next ecosystem, the Safi River. Hopefully, we'll be able to see some aquatic or semi-aquatic animals. All right, folks, if we will look off to our right, we'll see a hippo. Now, hippos, though they can swim, often choose to walk along the ground underwater. Hippos often sleep underwater. They don't actually have to come up for air when they sleep underwater, though. Their heads bob up and down naturally without waking them up. That's why their eyes, ears, and nose are all on the top of their head. If you look off to our left, you will see some white birds. Now, those are pink-backed pelicans. Pink-backed pelicans are one of the smaller species of pelican. They're also one of the few that prefer backwaters instead of coastal areas. Pink-backed pelicans are carnivores, which means that they eat meat. Pink-backed pelicans get their name because during certain parts of the year, they develop a pink color on the back of their wings and on their back. baobab tree. Now, baobab trees do not have leaves about 9 months out of the year. When they do have leaves, it's only during monsoon season. Now, baobab trees are able to support themselves during those seasons where they do not have leaves by their massive trunks that store all those nutrients. We are now entering one of the largest ecosystems in the entire world and the largest on our reserve, the savanna. Now, something unique about a savanna is that the animals that live there shape the terrain around them. So if you look at trees on the ground, that's the product of a bulldozer animal who will knock a tree over to eat leaves. You see areas of tall grass and then areas of very short grass or no grass, that is due to grazers who eat the stuff off the ground. And if you look at how all the trees' leaves started about the same height, that's from browsers who will then eat off of trees. We look off to our right, we will see 2 Maasai giraffe, they are browsers, eating some leaves off that tree right there. Maasai giraffe have a prehensile tongue, just like the okapi, that allows them to grab those leaves off that tree, those trees. And if you will look off to our left, to our back left, hidden in that the grass right there by the tree line, you will see some African painted dogs. African painted dogs get their name due to that black, brown, and white splotchy color. They are also one of the most effective hunters in the entire world. They are able to out-endure almost any prey. They do this by working as a team. When the leader starts to get tired, another will catch up and take the lead. You look off to our left again behind termite mound, you will see a couple sables. Sables are a type of antelope. They get their name from the brown color they have, and on the males it becomes almost a black color over the course of their life. They have these curved horns to help them protect themselves against predators. See those gray animals off to our right? Those are wildebeest. Wildebeest are herd animals, and they are also fantastic at following the leader. Now, those giraffe I mentioned earlier, they are Maasai giraffe. And the way that I can tell that they're Maasai giraffe is if you look at their spots, you see how the edges aren't super crisp or sharp? They're a little more blurred. That's how you know it's a Maasai giraffe. Maasai giraffe can get up to 20 feet tall. A group of giraffes is called a tower, and that has to do with how tall they are. Now, when I take this curve over here, if we look next to this fallen log, we will see, oh, they're both on our right and on our left. If you look on our right next to that termite mound, you'll see 2 springboks. If you look off to our left next to this fallen log right here are 2 more springbok. Springbok are one of these smaller types of antelope, but they can jump up to 6 feet high and 13 feet across, meaning that if they really felt like it, they could jump across all of our laps from one side of the truck to the other. They are my favorite animal out here on the reserve. Now, when I take this curve, you can look off to our right, kind of diagonal, you will see some Ankole cattle. Now, Ankole cattle have been used as a symbol of wealth in the past. They are not used for meat, for milk, or for labor. They are trademarked by those gorgeous, massive horns. If we look off to our left, you will see some more Maasai giraffe. That Maasai giraffe right there closest to us is using its prehensile tongue to grab those leaves off the trees. All right, folks, if we look off to our right, we will see a closer look at some wildebeest. watering hole. Now, watering holes are one of those topography things that really help the animals out here on the reserve. It's a great place for animals to gather, to get some water, that kind of thing. Now we look off to our left again, we'll see some greater flamingo. Greater flamingo are the largest species of flamingo as well as the lightest in color. When flamingo are hatched, they are not actually hatched a pink color. They are hatched a gray color. If you notice, there should be a couple gray ones over there. Now, it takes about over the course of 2 years for the flamingo to fully develop its pink color. And it gets this pink color through the beta carotene in the shrimp that it eats. We look off to our left, folks, we will see some white rhinos. White rhinos live in family groups, meaning you're not going to see a white rhino by itself for the most part. Now, white rhinos, as well as those elephants that we briefly got to see through those trees earlier, use something called a mud wallow. A mud wallow is a shallow hole in the ground with some mud, which you can see off to our left. And they use that to wallow around it, and they coat themselves with the mud. And by coating themselves with the mud, they are able to protect their skin, almost like a natural sunscreen. Alrighty.
Safari 4 through Safari 22.
Alrighty, folks, so we look off to our left, you will see 2 cheetah. They're up there against the tree line, if you can take a look. Now, cheetahs can get up to 60 miles an hour in as little as 3 seconds, but they cannot sustain this speed. They are the sprinters of the savannah, not the marathoners. Now, folks, it seems like there might be an animal or something in the road up ahead that's halted the flow of our trucks. While we're sitting here, I want to explain a little bit about this rock formation that's off to our left. This rock formation is called a copie. Now, copies are a trademark of the savannah, and both predator and prey animals will use the copie. Prey animals will use the copie to survey the savannah below them to look out for predators and see if it's safe. Now, predator animals will use the copie to survey the savannah around them and see if there's any prey that they might want to have for lunch. Ooh, I see what it might have been that stopped the trucks earlier. Looks like another white rhino. Now that is a very close look at a white rhino. Oh, folks, they were hidden earlier, but I do see a lion. Now, lions have 2 distinct roles within a family group. The male lions protect the territory and the young, while the female lions will go out and hunt. Oh, folks, if we look off to our left, we will see a bontebok. Bonteboks were once almost extinct. Oh, there are also some warthogs as well. Bonteboks were almost extinct, but one farmer pinned in about 17 of them, which ended up being nearly their entire population. And by doing this, their numbers were able to grow. Now about warthogs. Warthogs have two sets of tusks, one for burrowing and one for defending themselves. Oh, off to the right, there is another two more white rhinos, as well as what looks like 3 ostrich. Now, ostrich can get up to 40 miles an hour, which makes them the fastest bipedal or two-legged animal. So warthogs like to use burrows, and I don't know if you noticed, but when we were taking that turn right there, off to our left and down, there are these holes in the ground. Those are burrows. They're a great way for animals to keep themselves cool or to hide from predators. Folks, we're coming up here on this left turn, right turn, I don't actually know the directions anymore. If we up here on our left, we will see the warden's post as well as some Nigerian dwarf goats. So Nigerian dwarf goats are one of the smallest species of goats. Not only that, they produce an incredibly sweet milk, but they produce a very large quantity of this milk given their small stature. They will also eat just about anything, which allows them to be wonderful for people to take care of and pretty easy because they don't take that much space and they'll eat just about anything. Now, as we begin to exit the reserve and come to the end of our safari, I want to share a conservation message with you that I feel like really significant. I find it inspiring. So some of the animals that call this reserve home, their relatives in the wild are being faced with habitat destruction. Particularly the elephant and the okapi. Their habitats are being destroyed because of coltan mining. Now, coltan is a mineral used in the production of cell phones or electronics in general. But we can help those animals that are being affected by coltan mining by recycling electronics, cell phones, laptops, anything like that, iPads. But we don't only have to recycle electronics, we can recycle a lot of other things, like recycling paper and cardboard. That helps animals whose habitats are being destroyed because of deforestation. Remember how I mentioned the Bontebok and how that one farmer pinned in nearly the entire population and then their numbers grew? I think that's a great example of how only one person can make a difference. Now, as we're coming up here where I'm going to let you folks off, I want to share a word with you. And that word, sorry about that, folks, and that word is kwaherini. Kwaherini means go well, because saying goodbye is just much too sad. So, kwaherini, folks, go well and have a wonderful rest of your day here in Animal Kingdom.